everybody, Sherry Fredericks. Welcome to our weekly Dream Achiever Zoom call. I am excited you are here either live. There's a lot of people that watch the replay, and if you are watching the replay, hit hashtag replay so we know that you did watch it and maybe what your top takeaway is. But tonight we are going to talk sponsoring with the fair and amazing Margaret, which your name is Coach on the bottom, by the way, Margaret.
Sorry about
that. Before we get to that, and I'll keep adding people in. We are going to talk about a couple victories. Who's got a victory they'd like to share? Feel free to go off of mute. Anyone? Hey, Bria.
Hi.
We're talking victories. You have a victory you want to share?
I do not. My month was not great.
Okay, we got Desiree. Twyla, do you have a victory you want to share?
Well, I started an online party today for someone that wants to get some stuff for camping.
Yay, 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 yay. Good for you. Desiree, welcome. Welcome. All right, well then let's move on to announcements because there's lots to cover. I'm only going to hit on, hey Des, I'm only going to hit on 6 things that I thought jumped out at me, but there's lots going on, so make sure you hop. I know, only 6. I was gonna the top 3, but I'm like, dang it. Okay, April 3rd is Wednesday, Partypalooza registration. Partypalooza is our national conference. I hope you can go. This year you need to register first, and then once you register and pay, you can get your room. Okay, so you want to do that. Any questions on that? Okay, number 2, dill pickle dip mix is back. I'm excited. This is a new vendor. There's less sodium. It will be available to order April 8th. More information online. We have a beer bread challenge. Margaret, what were the dates? Let's see here. Wait, I have it.
The 4th through the 7th.
Yeah, 4th through the 7th. Margaret, you've been online today a lot with all your Zoom calls. So thanks for wrapping it up with us. But April 4th through the 7th is the beer bread challenge at 12 beer breads sold and 12 units. A value pack is 3 units. So only 12. You get a ribbon at conference. When you sell 25, you get a nicer ribbon, I guess. And if you're one of the top 3, you can get some credit on your account. So we can rally as a team and cheer each other on. I know Lisa Burns is gonna go ahead.
And the gifts, like the Cozy Comfort, they count as 3 units.
Okay, great. So Lisa Burns had volunteered to kind of get some teams together so we can watch for that too. So thank you, Lisa. Jill Visit, speaking of Lisa Burns, has earned a Jill Visit on April 24th, and she said she could not make the call tonight, but she was gonna get some updates on that tomorrow. So stay tuned. Thank you, Lisa. Team Freezer Mill Workshop, Angie Schaefer and I have been doing them. We are going to postpone the April one. It just kind of came up fast. We're going to do it May 2nd. And we're encouraging all team members to join us as well as bring your people. It'll be via Zoom at 7 p.m. And Angie, what are we rebranding them to? Oh, sorry, Angie's on mute. She can't find her unmute.
Sorry. We are rebranding it to Meal Prep instead of Freezer Meal. Meal Prep.
And we got some verbiage from Alicia.
Yeah. I think it'll be good.
Instead of Freezer Meal Workshop.
I think each of you should join us just to make a couple meals.
It's going to be the grilling.
You will be shocked at how amazingly awesome it is.
Yeah. So we challenge you again. It's May 2nd, 7 p.m. We're going to use the grilling kit. And let's be honest, you may have some of the products. Do you know what I mean? So you may not have to order the whole kit, but let's get our clients on board and they can order the kit. And remember, VIP rewards points. They sign up, get 50. That'll be 60 points, I believe. So won't they have
What was the date?
What's that?
A $10 gift card or coupon.
What was the date you're doing that?
Oh, May 2nd.
May 2nd. Okay.
Yeah, so they'll have a $10 gift or $10 off on their next order.
Yeah.
Okay, last but not least, number 6. Remind everybody that the Making Magic incentive trip is April 16th through the 21st, and that's in Orlando. So there's a few of us here on this call that will be having fun at Coronado Springs in Disney. So kudos to that. All right, well, let's move on, unless you have a question on any of that. Well, we are then going to move on to our product knowledge segment. We have Christy Anderson, a leader from Plainview, Nebraska, who's been with Tastefully Simple for, was it 14 years, Christy? Where are you? Oh,
I'm not sure if it's 14 or 15 because I deactivated so I could reactivate to be on Angie's team. So Angie, how long have I been with you?
Oh, it's been 2 years at least, I
well,
think.
that, when I looked online, it was said
It'll be
July
3.
of 2021 is when you came
Yeah,
under
it'll be
band,
3.
but you were a consultant way before that.
Yeah, so it's been 15 years then.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, awesome. Well, welcome. Our product knowledge segment is, you're going to feature the ultimate steak season, so go ahead.
Okay, the Ultimate Steak is my absolute favorite product. I guess I use it on French fries and burgers and steaks, roast, potatoes, sweet potato fries. I've done it on Brussels sprouts, chicken. I use it in gravy and meatballs or meatloaf and eggs. I have not done it in omelets, but I have a question and I don't know if I've never made a dip. Has anybody done a dip or anything with it?
Good idea. No,
I have no idea.
no, good idea though. I wonder what it would be like.
So yeah, and soups. That's another thing. I've used it in soups. I use it in everything, and I always take it to vendor shows, and if people can just get a whiff of it, they buy it. So
That's fantastic, Christy. I often say it should be called ultimate seasoning
yeah, I agree.
because you just shared all kinds of tons of ideas that didn't include steak. So, but great job. Maybe you
I
should
gotta-
make a dip out of it, Christy.
I gotta get back to bringing a few seasonings for people to just smell. I used
Yeah,
to do that.
So true, Desiree. Like
Do-
the
do
rustic herb would sell if they'd smell it.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Do you,
There's a-
so do you have them do that, Christy? You give them the sniff test?
yeah. I have a sample thing that I bring with me, a little sample packet, and then I just take a paper clip and roll it down and clip it for the next one.
Yeah. Well, Isabel, our youngest daughter, she's in marketing, but she's helped me out at events before. Just even local ones. She's like, Mom, they gotta smell it. So we have these like little
Mhm.
ramekins, but they're white and they're not very big. And we just sprinkle some in that, you know, and they just smell it. And we just throw it away when we're done with the event. But I think that, you know, like who Angie said, or Desiree, the rustic herb, I think there's a lot of truth in that. So
I mean,
I
do
just
it
put a
at
little
my
smell me sticker on the top.
parties. I do it at my parties, but like I forget about it at events. I don't know why. I'm just I'm not a morning person. So
Well-
when I have to get there and be all set up by 9, to me 9 is still early in the morning.
you silly girl. Well, Christy, thank you, because look at, this is why we are on these calls, because we get great ideas, and it doesn't always have to be a new idea. It might just be a reminder on that. So thank you very much, Christy.
You're welcome.
Anything else you wanted to say? I didn't mean to cut you off.
I was just gonna say we've raised beef, so we had gotten some fresh beef, and my husband and I made patties, and I just put it in there, and patted it and put it in the freezer and ready-made patties, and so it was already seasoned tonight, and that's what we had for supper, and it was good.
That does sound good. Fresh homegrown beef or what, frozen fresh, whatever, but none of that stuff in it. Very good. Well, thank you, Christy.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, next up is Margaret Thompson. She is down there on my screen anyway. Margaret, her title is the HQ Direct Sales Manager. Did you know that Margaret's been with Tastefully Simple for 20 years? That's
I feel
awesome.
old.
Pardon?
I feel old.
Oh no, honey, I'm 25. You are young. You are young. Her favorite Tastefully Simple recipe is, she said, favorite recipe is a hard one. The Mamma Mia meatloaf is one of our family favorites. Is that still online, Margaret, I'm assuming.
Well, you know what, I have it printed off, so I'm hoping it's still on there, but, if you all haven't tried it and you've got Mamma Mia, I don't, you know what, is it still in the catalog? I don't even know, but that's our,
Yeah,
Uh,
Mamma Mia is,
Okay.
but we'll have to
Yeah,
look that up because I love it. I love a good meatloaf.
oh, it's the best. It is the best. And, yeah, and we just made it with venison, just this last time. So, yeah, you may not be a big venison fan, but you know, we had a lot of venison, so we
Yeah,
decided
yeah.
to try.
Good old meatloaf. All right. So fun fact about Margaret is she said, I'm an avid gardener. Do you love perennials or annuals or what?
Everything. So I
Everything.
plant flowers and fruit, and down here in Florida, we can plant fruit trees, you know, we have citrus, and I have a vegetable garden, so I do a little bit of everything.
Oh, that's great. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Margaret's topic tonight is Don't Be a Fool sponsor. We had to play
Yeah,
off April Fool's Day.
I was expecting like nobody to show up, then the joke would be on me, right?
Right. So Margaret, take it away.
Okay, so first thing I have 3 questions to ask you all, and just yell out the answer, okay? First question I have is, what's the hardest part of sponsoring for you? Just anything. What?
Asking.
Asking? Approaching people?
Asking.
Oh, okay, cool, all right, and that's
I think
anything
keeping
different?
people going once they sign up is hard too.
Okay, well, that's a topic for another day, onboarding, okay. So, and my second question is, why do people join? To think of the people that joined, you know, recently joined your team, what do you think, the majority of people's, you know, join for? Do you think, I mean, are they looking for something full-time, part-time, some of the time? What's your opinion? What are people looking for now?
Part-time.
Definitely part-time from what I experience.
Very part-time.
Okay. Yeah, I think that when we do surveys, you know, I think a lot of people right now are probably not even, some people are willing to commit to part-time, but I think a lot of people are just looking for some time. You know, honestly, they're looking for money when they need it and the flexibility, you know. So it's important, and of course, it isn't a one size fits all, but also, we have found that the average person out there, they're happy if they make $100, $200, $300 a month. You know, they're not expecting, the average person is really not expecting that much more. So it helps as far as sponsoring, it helps to know what generally people are looking for, because that's one of the ways you can attract them, is to mention, you know, that is one of the benefits. And I have one more question for you. What keeps people from joining? What do you all think? What's a common reason that keeps people from joining once you've talked to them?
I think
Too
they
much
just overthink it.
Okay,
Failure.
Yeah.
what was that?
Like the fear of failure, not doing well.
Oh, okay,
I'd say quota.
quota, okay. And I think that's another thing that's really important to know, is what are the most common objections that you're going to hear? Because there's a little secret about sales. If you share the solution before they have a chance to voice the objection, then you're the winner. Like, think about, like if we were arguing a court case and the person, I'm an attorney, and the person I'm defending did something wrong and I know it, but I don't want the other side to bring it up first. We want to bring it up first. Like, we want to address the problem, the elephant in the room, so that, because then we have the upper hand in terms of how we want to position it. And I maybe that's a bad analogy now that I think about it, because I don't want to make it sound like joining is a bad thing. But the thing you have to realize is that, like, if someone For example, if it's overwhelming, okay, like maybe it looks too hard. I think that was one of the objections. Well, then maybe when you're sharing the information, maybe that's what you need to do is say, like, no, I need to make it simple. Like one of the ways you can make it simple is if someone meets you, let's just say at an expo event, you can say, we offer lots of different services. You obviously like expo events. How would you like to join? And then you could do expo events. It's, like you don't have to like feel like you need to give them the whole like encyclopedia of information. Just start from where they are. If you meet them at an online party, then maybe just start there and say, how do you like online parties? How would you like to make some extra cash doing online parties? So that's something else to consider. Another thing that, well, let's talk more about objections as far as, what other objection did you all share? Too complicated or like too
Too
overwhelming?
much time. Like, I don't have time. I don't have time for that.
Mhm.
Oh, God, yeah, that one. Mhm.
Yep, and so that's where like the sometimes person comes in. So maybe the thing to do is to say, you know what, that there is no, set number of parties that you have to do. This is flexible. You can work when you want to. You can work full-time, part-time, or just some of the time. It's okay, and just let them know. Now, another thing that, those are just two things I want to point out to you is to, you can just do a little survey and ask your clients, like if you're at a party, you can ask them, if you were to be a consultant, what would be some of the benefits that would appeal to you, and just do like a little survey of what their why would be. You can just make up answers or get them to fill in the blank and put themselves in a consultant's shoes. And likewise, you can ask them what would keep them from giving it a try. And so that you can, get some more concrete information. And as far as like how to share the information, we have like tons of training on the subject. But the main thing that I want to point out to you is that as long as you're covering giving them the information they need to know, which there's really 4 things that people have to know: how much money they can make, how much time does it take, how much does it cost to start, and then where do they go to sign up. Those are the main things that people need to know. If you leave out one of those things, chances are then this conversation's going to stall because they're missing a key ingredient, And then one of the things that I've noticed that people kind of forget to do is they are afraid to ask those closing questions. If you get a no from someone, but they're making an informed decision and their answer is no, that's a good result. I mean, that it's not about convincing somebody to join. It's about making, giving someone enough information so that they can make an informed decision. And they may tell you yes or no, or maybe later. But as long as they can answer truthfully, like they're educated, they're giving you like an educated answer, that's a good thing. Because even if they tell you no, they can say, you can say, well, I appreciate you letting me know that. I appreciate your honesty. Would you be willing to be a talent scout for me? Because now that you understand what it takes to join Tastefully Simple, it would be great, if you run across someone you think would be good, if you refer them to me and they join, I'll give you a gift, so that any conversation that you have with someone where it ends in a no, or maybe later, I mean, those are people that could be spokespeople for you. And they could give you referrals. I do have like a little tip to give to you, and I'll just open it up for any questions that you have, because I'm trying to keep this short, Sherry.
That's good. That's great. Yeah.
Here, it takes, even the best sponsor, it really has the same odds of success as anyone else. I mean, your ratio, if you just like go down your contact list and you try to talk to every single person in your client list, chances are you know, I mean, not everyone is going to agree to talk to you, but of the people that agree to talk to you, you're probably only going to be able to get 1 or 2 out of every 5 people to join because the timing's not right, or they're just not interested or whatever. So really, even if you're experienced at this, you still need to talk to about 5 people before you can get 1 or 2 people to join. So really, it's just a numbers game. It's about where can you find 5 people. So here's my tip for you. You know, I mentioned about like doing a little survey. Why don't you create some kind of a little screening survey at your parties, whether it's online or in person, where you say, hey, I have like a little 3-minute overview. Remember the 4 questions, you know, that you have to answer? How, you know, how much money can you make? How much time does it take? How much does it cost to get started? And then how do you sign up? Just share that. And that's your little 3-minute spiel. And then you say, and after that, all you have to do is fill out a little survey, like a, you know, multiple choice question. And then I'll put you in a drawing. So that could be a Google Doc, it could be a contact slip, it could just be, you know, in a Messenger, whatever. And so you can just make that be an open offer at your parties or anywhere, even at a, you know, expo event, you can have little paper drawing slips. And you can just ask some of those questions. If you were to be a consultant, would you do it full-time, part-time, or just some of the time? And if you were to do this, how much money would you like to make? 100 to, you know, 100 to 300 or more, or I don't care, you know, or whatever. Just make up your own questions. And what you're looking for is some of those possible objections and some of those possible whys that you can follow up with. And I can share like some more suggestions, Sherry, if you want me to later, like I can give you some of those little survey questions that people could create their own, you know, use to create their own form. But I challenge you all just to start with something like that, to survey people to see who is even a potential for a conversation. And if you talk to, say you offered it to 10 people and 3 or 4 people said, yeah, I'll do it for a chance to win a prize, or maybe you just offer them a sample if they give you the contact slip. But anyway, I'll bet you that you could get your 5 conversations in 1 or 2 parties just by doing something like that. And you'll be surprised how that will open up a conversation. You'll be able to find more people willing to join. So there's my idea for you. And it really, I think it'll work for you. And so I challenge you to try it, because you just never know when it's going to be the right time for somebody.
Very true, Margaret. Thank you. What questions do you have for Margaret? We have a couple minutes left.
Or challenge me. Is there anything about that you think, you know, I don't know about that?
Because I will add to what Margaret said. I think what's holding, or why we're not sponsoring as a company, and I'll speak for myself, is I'm not asking enough people. Okay, I'll just be honest with you. You know, you get busy and doing everything and we're not asking. And if we're not asking and offering, how can we expect to grow our teams? I mean, once in a while we get those nice ones that drop on our lap, and that's awesome.
Yeah, and the thing is, okay, so I know that like TS Central was really complicated, and you might be thinking, you know, I don't want to have someone join, but hey, we've spiffed it up. We've simplified it. If you haven't been out there and taken a look at it, it's looking pretty good right now. And, you know, we've gotten rid of a lot of those skills that were so, you know, complicated. So, and like I said, if you just focus on meeting them where they are, then it does seem simple. It can be simple. It doesn't have to be overwhelming. And so, you know, just think about it like that. You don't have to, it can be just, it can start out with just something simple. And then if they like it, they try it for a couple of months, they get 2 months of a free website anyway. Why not give it a try for 2 months? And then you sit down and talk about whether or not they like it. Because what have they got to lose by trying it for 2 months? It's like a 2-month trial.
Perfect. Yeah, it's only $49 or $99.
Yeah, they can make their money back. You can work with them to get them a couple of parties and they'll earn it back. And, you know, doesn't have to be hard.
Exactly. Any other questions for Margaret? Here's your opportunity.
Raise your hand, like if you're willing to, if any of that I shared, I'm putting myself on the spot here. Did any of that like strike like like make a little light bulb turn on where you're going, well, maybe there's something I could try
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
something differently. Yeah.
For sure, for sure, for sure.
The talent scout idea that you shared, I think that's a great one. If they say no.
A lot of times if you say that, just say, hey, appreciate you taking the time to do this, but you know, I'd love for you to be a talent scout, and you'd be surprised how often they'll give you a name right then, because they know exactly what you're going to say to somebody at that point. It's not scary to them, because you can say, I would just share the 4 things that I just shared with you. That's all I'm going to do.
Low
Perfect.
key is
Mhm.
totally
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not like, oh, she's gonna be all freaky and
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
Well, and try to think of the consultant as a product. Do you know what I mean? Like we talk about, you've heard this before, you guys. You talk about the beer bread, you talk about the one pan wonders. Learn to talk about the business and ask questions. And like I said, you just like you got to flex that muscle. And I get lazy too
Yeah.
sometimes.
Mhm.
And I'm not asking every single host, or I'm not asking, you know, that person at your event that's all gushy gushy. Oh my gosh, I love this stuff. Like, why wouldn't you ask them?
Well, and the reality is that if you're not bringing it up regularly, and I know we have a tendency to not bring it up around our regular clients, because we think, they know that that's part of what I do is to bring people on. And so you have a tendency to not want to repeat yourself. But
Right.
the reality is that if you're not mentioning it, then you're not branding yourself as a leader. And if there is someone in the room that's shopping direct sales companies, they may not sign up under you because they're looking for someone that considers that more of their role, that they're the local sales trainer. So I would be marketing myself, hey, my favorite part of my job is helping new people get started. And that way, if there is someone in the audience thinking about it, they're going to approach me instead of going on and signing up with somebody else.
Right. And look how natural that came out of Margaret's mouth. She doesn't look like a vampire. When she said that, you know, she just said, one of my favorite parts of my job is helping other people do what I do. I mean, that's all you have to say. Just be genuine, or whatever, you know, sounds genuine to you. But the point is to ask and to keep your ears open.
Yep.
And have fun with it. I mean, I asked my last host, she would have been perfect. And I asked her, and she's like, well, I'm on disability. And I just went, I had no idea, but I planted the seed, and, you know, she can only make so much a month. But, you know,
I've
and the
come
other thing is
across that too.
patience. What's that, Des?
I come across that too, that I was like, oh, I didn't even like think about that you can, if they make too much money, they like lose their health insurance or something,
Right, right.
so they can't do it. But you know, she still hosts with me.
Yeah. So just planting the seeds. So, well, Margaret, I know you have had a full day with all your Zoom calls, and I'm sure all your
Yep.
other things. So I'm going to end the recording. If anybody else wants to stick on, if you have questions about anything going on, feel free to ask. But thanks, Margaret, and especially being it's 9:30 Florida time.
That's right. That's okay. I like seeing you all. I appreciate you inviting me, and y'all have a nice evening.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Margaret.
Bye. Thank you.